Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Boter Plays Something. Tonight on Coffee Talk 2, we learn about some long-forgotten history. Or, perhaps more intriguingly, some recently forgotten history. I'm Boter. Let's play something.
Silver. It's an honor to be related to someone like you. Yes! Our fan-in is happening! I am Silver's time-traveled son. It was kind of like a crack fan-in that me and more like Rigor Mortis had, and it's like, it keeps bearing true. Tuesday, September 26, 2023. Curbing recent security breaches. Government wishes to block data leakers' websites. Okay. Lol, easy. First Workaholics Treatment Center to open in 2024. No phone, no laptop, just rest. Beachgoers report silver algae blooming on algae something. Something's missing from the drawer. Still the fidget spinner. Did I misplace it? Somehow I feel like it's gonna be a long, long night. Or not. Well, what's it gonna be, Boter? Hey, Mr. Hyde. Or, not Hyde, Gala. Sorry. She's a 10, but about to marry a freelancing elf. It's true. Aw. Having an ocean fish as a pet is so hard, especially living in a city such as Seattle, but it feels nice to have someone depend on you. What? No night shift. I wonder if Rihanna will be stopping in then. I don't think that was her, I don't think that was her profile. I think she changed her profile picture. Maybe she's been doing more music. That'd be good for her. Good evening. Hey, Boter. How are you? Not too shabby, I hope. Everything's just fine. You sure? Positive. How about you, sir? How's work? My shift is over, so I'm free now. Nice. That reminds me, Mr. Hyde was just here the other day. Oh, that's right. Tell you the reason for his visit? Yeah, he's moving back here, right? At least that's the plan. Yeah, what a nice surprise. Told me he's got a few things to discuss on that. Well, that's part of why I'm here tonight. Aside from getting myself a hot drink, that is. On that note, I am so ready to take your order. Much obliged. So Henry told me about this Indonesian ginger drink. Has milk, honey, and a couple other things in it. I think it's called the STMJ. I'll have a cup of that. Okay. Milk, honey, ginger. Milk, honey, ginger. I might have to swap the ginger and the honey. Milk, ginger, honey. There we go. And your apartment key, sir. Oh, I see. I dropped my key card here, huh? Thank you, Boter. Now I have a spare. Because I already made a new one. Always good to have an extra one at hand. Only downside is that it cost me $100. I'm wondering where I should keep this one. Maybe in my locker at work? I hate to lose it there. Yeah, let's hope it never comes to that. One nutritious drink from the archipelago coming up. Thanks a lot. Nice. So what's in it again? It's a hot blend of egg, milk, ginger, and honey. Drink name takes itself from the ingredients. Susu telur madu jahe. Milk, egg, honey, and ginger. No wonder it somewhat reminds me of eggnog. I'll albeit spicier and not as rich. But I can see why Hendry likes it. It's a great stamina drink. Probably needs it to keep up with Rachel's work. You're probably right. As long as he remembers to take breaks. Maybe I should invite him for a drink here sometime. What do you think? Well, that'd be lovely. Consider it done. You know what? I don't think Hyde will show up tonight. Oh, why's that? When I called him earlier to confirm, he sounded a little annoyed. It's not exactly great outside either. Thought he liked this kind of weather. Yeah. His car? Not so much. That thing wouldn't survive this kind of storm. Now that you mention it, you might be right. I used to drive him in that car back in the day. Did he ever tell you how old it is? Yeah, gave me the whole backstory of it. Oh. I guess I'm just surprised he still uses it at all. The car clearly holds a special meaning to him. He was also quite sentimental about it. Which makes me wonder if it has anything to do with him moving back here. What do you mean? You lived here before, right? Yeah. And he kept bringing up the past, too. You saying his move is motivated by nostalgia? I was gonna say homesickness. I realize that makes no sense. I get what you're trying to say, though. It's the strange longing for times gone by, considering how fast things are changing these days. Maybe even too fast. Which is ironic, really. What is? Live long enough, realize the only constant in life is change itself. Things like shifting necessities, curveballs the world throws at you, decay, just stuff we gotta deal with indefinitely. Considering our lifespans, you think we get used to it at some point. But we never do. Never completely, anyway. Suppose the idea of getting used to change is a paradox in and of itself. That sounds about right. Perhaps nostalgia is like an anchor for dinosaurs like us. Keeps us from losing ourselves to the world's relentless speed. You get used to these after a while, huh? Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hey there. We meet again. Yes, hello. Excuse me for a moment. Got it. Welcome, Miss Fiona. Good evening. I'm meeting up with someone. Oh, okay then. How's your car, by the way? My car? Oh, you mean the tire. There's really no need for concern, as it was an easy fix. But thank you for asking. My pleasure. May I order a cup of Russian tea? Do I know what that is? What would be in Russian tea? Let me Google Russian tea to get an idea of what I might have to put into it in game. Russian tea. Tea and lemonade. Sugar, cinnamon, cloves. Okay, so we're gonna do tea, lemon, cinnamon. Moscow Mule, but with tea. That doesn't... Russian tea. Got it. Also, what do I have in here? Oh, Georgie's lighter is all I've got in there. Okay. Yeah, so I googled Russian tea, and the first thing that came up, this Russian tea recipe combines tea and lemonade powders with a orange drink mix, sugar, cinnamon, and cloves. Well, it's like, well, I have 3 of those things, and we'll do that in descending order. Russian tea for the lady, Russian to deliver. That's a good one. I haven't heard that 1,000 times before. Oh, birthday, 18 September. Oh, we just... That was during the time the game takes place. Alright. Also, hold on. What in-game day is today? Oh, I haven't been doing the... Okay, it's the 26th. I've been forgetting to do stories. We'll do that as a separate compendium, reading a bunch of stories at the end of the game. This is perfect, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. So who are you meeting with, if I might ask? Who are you meeting with, if I might ask? Oh my god, Boter. Get the separate syllables out. Ugh. You should know, shouldn't you? After all, you were tasked to give me his contact info. Oh, that's right. So you two did end up connecting after all. We did, yes. But truth be told, I wasn't really sure about contacting him at all. Why's that? Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no real reason for me to do so. Nevertheless, I sent him an email the following night, right after the completion of my final delivery at 3 a.m.
It's pretty late.
A little, but surely no worse than forgetting it altogether. But he replied straight away, to my surprise.
I had no idea he was such a night owl. I mean, aside from making stereotypes about his age and general demographic. Or perhaps just an extremely early bird.
Right? I wonder if he ever sleeps.
That should be a question for you too, miss.
Oops. Anyhow, he answered me with an apology. He regretted his rudeness from when we first met. Which was another surprise, since I didn't think it was such a matter of concern.
Well, he did return here the next evening looking for you.
Did he?
Yep, said so himself.
I see. How peculiar. In any case, we exchanged phone numbers and have been texting ever since. He said that he wants to meet up and speak in person, which is why I'm here now. But I'm still not quite sure it's necessary.
I mean, maybe he just wants to chat and hang out?
Perhaps. I suppose we'll see.
Got that Russian tea added. Despite the name, it's a totally American drink. Yeah, so Hod's not coming tonight. Probably for the best given the circumstances. Is he okay? Yeah, he just wants to take it easy tonight. Understandable. The storm's always the worst when Riona's here. I wonder if that's just like... It's gotta be stereotyping. Because she's always in the city. My apologies for the surges. I was hoping it'd become more stable as the days go by, but no need to apologize for something out of your control. I'm sure she doesn't actually have control over the weather. And it's fairly probable that she doesn't have like a curse following her around as well, especially because that's an issue that she's dealing with. Is that she wants to be a singer, but everyone's like, no, you're a banshee, you're gonna curse us all, shut up. Don't want that.
That's right, you tried everything you could.
Like, don't I have a backup generator? Or battery bank or something, since all the power fluctuations seem intermittent? I know. Thank you for understanding. How are you doing, miss?
Hey there. Did you manage to resolve your issues with children?
Sorry?
Oh, I mean the hospital admission problem from the other day.
Oh, that. For a minute there, I thought I had a beef with kids I was unaware of.
Sorry for the misunderstanding.
No worries, it was fine. It's only been a few days, so no, not much has changed. How about you, feeling better?
Yes, well... I apologize for the way I acted a few days ago.
We all have our bad days, don't worry about it.
Thank you.
While we're on the topic, I told Officer Georgie what happened to your car. Would you mind pointing out where you believe the incident took place?
Sure. It was quite near the police station, actually. At a metered spot, just outside the now-defunct library.
Oh, the vacant building at the Bourne intersection?
Yes, that's correct.
I see. So it was originally a library. You know the area? I know the property, yeah. It's been abandoned for a long time now. But it's a heritage building, so I often wonder why nothing's being done with it. Since it's located in a very populated, culture-centric neighborhood.
That's true. There's even an art college nearby.
Right? Then again, I've always found the street a bit odd.
Odd? How?
It's just barren. Especially if you consider the area. And the weird thing is, I feel like it wasn't always that way. Feel. Don't you mean remember? Nope, exactly what I said. It's a feeling, not a clear memory. Strange, isn't it?
That is odd. Well, there used to be a flea market there a long, long time ago.
Hold on, how long do banshees live? You don't have an age, only a birthday.
Perhaps that is what you were recalling? Flea market, huh? Last time I drove there, I remember seeing nothing but concrete. Oh, wait. There was a single dead tree surrounded by strange trinkets. A dead tree, huh? No idea why I almost forgot about it. Stuck out like a sore thumb. About 8 feet tall, no leaves. Been there forever, too, far as I know. That hawthorn tree was something of a landmark for us drivers. And the trinkets you spoke of were actually remembrances of sorts. Remembrances? Hold on, I'm just gonna recap a bit here, okay? Sure. Your car was vandalized near a metered parking spot in front of an abandoned library, on a seemingly deserted street within a busy area that has a large dead tree surrounded by remembrances for some reason. Sounds about right. Except the tree is no longer there. Oh? Are you serious, Pops? Why wouldn't I be? That's crazy! Good evening, gentlemen. You kind of interrupted something, so hopefully we can get back to that. Hey, everyone. Oh, boy. I thought... Oh, boy. I thought it'd be early, but you're already here, lady. Hello. Boter, for the love of all things holy, tell me my lighter is here. Well, you're in luck, because it is. Hot damn, thank goodness. Would you like me to get it for you now? Nah, it's fine. I'm just glad to know it's here. Let's bring it with my drink later. Sure, let me know when you're ready to order. Cheers. Well, well, well. What's up, y'all? What's new? Evening, officer. We're just talking about the spot where Miss Riona's car may have been vandalized. Oh? They got your car too, lady? Could you not? Yes, but it's not a big issue. Still, sorry you had to experience that. Where'd you park your car, miss? I can send you the coordinates if you like. Oh, that'd be real swell. Got it. Okay. Oh. Is it within the area you expected, or... I wonder if he's gonna have a totally different memory of it, like if we're getting some dimensional weirdness of this spot that, oh, it used to be a library, maybe it was a flea market, there's a remembrance tree. Pretty much. Same location where I parked mine a week ago. I see. You can rest assured we already increased patrols in the area. That's great. But I am the only one doing it at the moment. Well, that's not so great. Heh. What's that? Oh, what's that? Am I hearing you, out of all people, doubting my skills, Boter? No, of course not. I just thought it means an unfortunate increase to your workload. Yeah, I was confused. Well, like, where was he going with that? Oh, well, them's the breaks, I suppose. Anyway, give me your strongest espresso, Boter, and don't forget my lighter. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Ah, there it is. Thanks, Boter. You probably think I'm being silly, but what can I say? It's my lucky charm. Yeah, it's borderline superstitious, I know. Don't you have anything of the sort? Well, I have good reason to be superstitious. Whenever I don't have this with me, things happen. Right. Alright, here comes the strongest espresso in the house. Cheers. Perfect, as always. And are you ready to order? Might as well. I'd like something desserty, because it's my cheat day. Sure thing. Any specifics in mind? Well, I saw this video of a Spanish hot cocoa drink yesterday. It was so thick I thought it was chocolate sauce. The name also reminded me of a song, but for some reason I can't remember the title right now. You know, that does sound oddly familiar. For real? I'll have the thick cocoa. It's got milk and a little hot spicy kick to it. Okay, so that's coffee, milk, cinnamon, and we'll try coffee, milk, ginger if this doesn't do it. No, not coffee. Cocoa. Cocoa. Reset. Cocoa, milk, cinnamon. Is that reminding me of a song? Let's try it with ginger, and we can always come back to the cinnamon one. Chocolate, milk, ginger. Land of Hope and Glory. Okay. Stop that. Hold on. What am I doing? I should look at the stats. Warm, cool. So this is 3, 4, 2, 5. Ginger's hotter. And like, I wouldn't consider honey, lemon, or mint to be spicy. So let's brew that and see what that looks like. Spanish Sahara? Yeah, he said it was a Spanish drink, right? Yeah. A cup of Spanish Sahara for you. Oh, so that's what it's called? That's what I call it here, at least. Very cool. And bon appetit. I think this is it. Very tasty. Cool. Thanks, Boter. You're so welcome. Everyone with their drinks. So, Pops, just earlier you were telling me about your creepy patrolling experience, right? Was it in the same location where the lady's car was? Creepy patrolling experience? Well, I don't know if I should even talk about it. Because maybe it's just a tad too spooky. Listen, we're all adults here. I mean, I don't know how old the satyr is, but otherwise, even for me. What happened? Tell him, Pops. It's not that big a deal, honestly. Then all the more reason to talk about it, right? Maybe someone who'll know something. Hey, you got a point there. Y'all were talking about the area anyway, right? Yeah? Well, I've been patrolling there the past few nights. The street itself is fairly straightforward, about a half-mile round trip from the intersection and back. Nothing much there either. Concrete sidewalk with metered parking spots, and a fence here and there. And an unfinished construction site with a couple CCTVs dotted about. No tree? What tree? There used to be a dead tree in front of the old library. Huh. Oh, that old dead tree. It was uprooted by the city back in January. Ah. The commercial community decided it wasn't really a good look, so when the city started a massive cleanup project last year, well, they simply voted to get rid of it. Welcome, more like rigor mortis. You've missed some cool stuff. I would definitely recommend checking out the VOD later. Anyway, they simply voted to get rid of it. I see. Why, what's up? We were actually talking about it earlier, and, being a decades-old landmark aside, could there be something more to the tree than just being old? You think so? That's what I think after listening to Miss Riona. Are you expecting something from me, Boter? Huh? Oh, no. I'm sorry if I crossed a line. You just seem to know a lot about it. I didn't want to mix up the facts. I understand. But I would like to hear the officer's spooky tale first, if you don't mind. Gladly, miss. Almost forgot about me there, huh? So anyway, patrolling on that street is an easy task. Only 4 or 5 cars would park there overnight at most, which makes keeping track a breeze. Sounds ideal enough. As expected, though, nothing happened the first 2 nights. But yesterday was a different story. Oh, hold on. What a strange setup, eh? But thematic thunder. Georgie looks so tiny next to everybody. Yeah. Especially next to Gala. My god. There we go. Thank goodness. Sorry about that. Please continue. Alrighty. Well, it was nearing the end of my shift, and I found nothing was amiss. Only 4 cars parked that night. 2 spaced across the street, 2 on the opposite corner side by side. The plan was to leave after I walk one last round, make sure everything's okay. As a reminder, you can cover the whole place in only 8 minutes. Okay? Then at the end of my walk, took a drag on my cigarette, smug as I was about to clock out, thinking 'twas another night job well done. Right? Wrong, as I was immediately faced with the impossible. 3 cars, two side by side, one across the street. All tires flattened. That's 12 vandalized tires for you in a span of less than 10 minutes. That is so strange. It would take several minutes to flatten just one tire. And that's if you're using the right tools. I mean, you could do it with a knife, but that's not going to be subtle. Right? Now, that wasn't all. No, it wasn't. So that was the moment when the street lights went out. Suddenly and all at once. What? Right after that, I heard flurries of footsteps and laughter. They were going farther and farther away from the scene, and yet I saw nothing at all. Oh. Are you sure? CCTV catch anything? Infrared's actually managed to catch something. The videos weren't clear at all, so I'm still investigating it. Jeez Louise, Pops! That's way spookier than what you told me in the car. But it's cool, though. I may be laughing now, but I almost pissed my pants there, you see. Greetings, been lurking while I was on the thruway, but now gonna do some food shopping. Sounds good, Griff Kuba. Thank you very much for lurking. Seattle's gonna start flooding soon. Yeah, probably. Oh, in the game? Yeah. Well, whoever they sure worked fast. Right? Anyway, Boter, think I want another drink. All that talk is making my throat dry, and coffee just ain't cutting it. After that, what do you want? Well, what do you suggest? About some tea with ginger and honey? Sounds good. Can you use the red flower stuff you have as a base? You mean hibiscus? Definitely. Alright, I'd like a red flower tea with ginger and a touch of honey. Red flower tea with ginger and a touch of honey it is. Nice. One piping hot Tejahe Rosella for you. Still a lactose intolerant cop. Also, I talked about injuries I sustained yesterday. Oh, what's it mean? Jahe means ginger, te means tea, Rosella is roselle, another name for hibiscus. See, legit herbal drink. Spicy, but perfect for the weather. Good call, Boter. Happy to please. If that's the case, let me join your patrol, Pops, because I'm not scared of ghosts. Real beings scare me more. Wait a sec, kid, what do you mean ghosts, huh? Jumping the gun a little there, ain't ya? I don't know, Pops. Maybe it's even crazy. Maybe it's even something crazier than that. This is a really serious problem, kid. Don't joke around like that. Sorry. Interesting. You know something? No, not me. But she might. Right, the tree, wasn't it? Oh yeah. What about it, miss? It's your turn to finish your thought. I'm not sure if this can be of any use at all, but... Officer, are you aware of the story behind that tree? Huh? I recall what you said earlier, people often leaving remembrances about it. What do you mean by that, miss? Well, it's because someone passed away there. What? Allow me to explain. I mentioned there was once a flea market on that street, correct? Right. They called it the Fairy Market. It was unofficially set up by the transients of the community. Transients being the government's term for unregistered citizens, including all the other uncategorizable beings at the time. Fairies were a part of that. Huh. I remember learning about it. What time frame are we talking? How old are you, Miss Riona?
Rude. You don't just ask a banshee her age.
After the war, the government made its first official attempt to sort things out. Organizing equitable classifications was thought as one of the first steps towards civil peace. But it was oversimplified, inefficient, not speedy enough. Was that all before the Vindication Act? Way before that. Many who couldn't register are basically in administrative limbo. What? That's as good as, like, not existing at all. Really, that's horrible. It was the main reason why the fairy market was created in the first place. To ensure transient survival throughout the changing times. In more ways than one. The market had no real schedule, therefore the start of Fairy Week would be marked by flowers strewn along the intersection, just so people would notice and come and take a look. Sounds kinda too low-key, no? Because it was illegal, silly. Oh. This is near the police station? And that was exactly the problem. The market ran day and night, format unchanging. At the same time, the economy was slowly reshaping the landscape. People started to spend more, becoming reckless, while the laws were still shaky at best. Then a tragic incident occurred one night. A drunk driver was speeding and went off the course, striking a vendor there. And the only evidence left of the crime was that tree, standing where there was no tree before. Wait a second, what? Why did I never hear about it? How long ago was this? The accident occurred in 1959, but the market itself was forcefully disbanded in 1961. Happened before I was born, huh? Georgie! Sorry, there's still a short circuit in my brain that just subtracts from the year 2000 for how long ago stuff was. I'm like, Georgie, you're not 40. Georgie is tops 61. That's fine. Yeah, I remember everything now. It was actually quite an infamous case, wasn't it? But due to the nature of the beings involved, most people couldn't help but, well, forget. Huh? We're talking about the late 50s, early 60s here. Post-war media was still quite scarce. And I remember the drunk driver was also the son of a very wealthy individual. Oh, correct. But that wasn't exactly the part that made the case so infamous. It was due to the fact that no body was ever found at the crash site. They hit a ferry, they died and became a tree, and then the city just uprooted it. As well as the vendor being a transient with no legal ID or paper trail. As a result, the court had no choice but to dismiss the case. But there was a body, wasn't it? Just not the one people might expect. You mean the tree? Right. When semi-spiritual beings like us pass on from the physical world, some may leave specific landmarkers behind. Not all can do that. Of course, us banshees don't do that. You don't? No, we simply disappear. So if I'm getting this right, the tree couldn't be used as evidence because it wasn't classified as remains yet. The witnesses were in the same boat, no paper trail. So the driver's lawyer took advantage of those loopholes. And that's messed up. Beyond messed up, Pops. Wow, I'm boiling. I'll take a further look into this more, miss. But I have a question for you. Yes? You think the vandalism has anything to do with the tree removal? I don't know. I suppose it might depend on when the acts of vandalism began. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I better get going then. Almost time for my shift. Alright, officer. Break a leg, Pops! I'd rather not. Stay safe. Will do. I'll keep you all posted. I better go as well. Got an early shift tomorrow. There's one thing I want to confirm, though, if you don't mind, miss. Yes? It's about the fairies passing and how everyone ends up forgetting about them afterwards. I really thought that was just a myth. I guess not. Unfortunately. That is why there used to be memorabilia around the tree. There were efforts by those who remembered to preserve the memory. It wasn't enough, was it? Else we'd still have the tree. It really makes me question my memory. Are there any people I might have forgotten? Are there events I missed? Quite scary to think about. For beings like us, being forgotten is inevitable. So, no need to feel bad about it. Is that so? Oh, I didn't catch your name, by the way. I'm Gala. Oh, I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you, sir. Well then, nice meeting you. Good luck with your future auditions, Miss Riona. Thank you. See you around. Bye, Boter. Take care. That was the longest farewell in this game. You okay? It's getting real late. I still want to talk, but if you're tired, let me know. Have you eaten? You want something to eat? We don't sell food here. Oh, you don't? No wonder your place is always empty. Well, just kidding, Boter. Don't hate me, please. Well, you want another drink, maybe? I wouldn't mind one. Nice. What do you feel like having? Something without milk, with a fresh feeling and some brightness to it. I'm also quite partial to some blue pea tea. Oh. Okay, I'll order something for you. May I? Sure. Boter, could you try this mix? I saw this pretty drink in a video and it looked perfect for Our Lady. Sure, what is it? Had blue pea as a base, a lot of mint, and a splash of lemon. I haven't been using the mint too much. And here I thought more like Rigor Mortis would be able to help us out with brewing something, but... Galaxy Mint Tea. Yeah, look at that. Here you go, miss. From the man sitting right beside you. It looks nice. Very pretty. I like it. Thank you. I'm glad you do. And wow, Boter, it looks exactly like what I envisioned. You're G. I'm happy you both enjoyed it, even if you're using slang I don't understand anymore. Man, that whole case earlier, though. It was a lot to take in. Also, the whole forgetting thing? That really gave me chills. Why? Don't you feel scared? Of just disappearing in the end? Because I do. That's why I thought I finally understood you, too. I mean, the reason why you wanted to become a soprano your way, the traditional way. Oh? Care to compare notes? Because I've yet to be entirely certain about that myself. Oh, now that's what you call huge pressure. Before that, though, can I ask a little teeny tiny question? Go ahead. What inspired you to go down this path? I mean, I may have an idea on why you're choosing the hard way, but why a soprano in the first place? Because it's been done before. Pardon? Because there was already a banshee who did it before, so I know it's not impossible. Oh, for real? Her part was that of a sorbet aria? Sorbet? I want to say sorbet, but that's like, I just think food. Anyway, specific opera part. And she was not very well known. What is a sorbet aria? Oh, I mean she was a secondary character. Back in early 19th century opera, sorbet arias were sung towards the end of the second act, usually before the evening ended. Hawkers would use the time to offer their wares for the last time to the patrons, often desserts, hence sorbet aria. Yay! I pronounced it right the first time, and my confusion was warranted. I see. Like background singing at the end of a show or something? Yes. Things are different nowadays because people are expected to listen to the end. The first time I heard her voice was on an old recording of a comedy opera. I was still very young back then. She was playing a confused maid role at the very end of the opera, wondering why and how people could act so crazy when in love. But despite her confusion, she thought she wasn't so old that she couldn't find out the reason herself. It was a funny epilogue to the opera. But hearing a banshee sing such a playful and light-hearted piece, it was truly an eye-opener for me. Oh man, I bet it was! Sadly, I couldn't find any of her other works, but it always stuck with me nonetheless. So I left my commune, and started trying on my own. That's really cool, and brave of you to do so. I agree. I've never talked about this before. It's a bit embarrassing. Don't be embarrassed. I think it's super cool. You're just feeling inspired to push yourself beyond what's expected of you, and wishing to leave a mark on the world. Is that what you think? Alright. Huh? You're just trying to follow a path that's been traveled before. That's not always a bad thing, especially for beings like us. You're just being careful, yet courageous. Right, because the path you're choosing to walk on is still difficult. Regarding leaving your mark, I don't know. I just feel maybe you're the same as me. Like, what's the point of being born if nobody's gonna remember us, right, Boter? No comment. Aw. Why do you want to be remembered so much? Why wouldn't you? Us banshees see the end differently than most. So, care to enlighten me? I can't speak for anyone else, but in my case, I was a kid who grew up in a large family, you see. Like, humongously large. Literally couldn't count all my siblings even if I wanted to. Because they're everywhere, thanks to my dad. Oh. We weren't wealthy, though, not even close. The money situation was always suffocating us, for real. But sometimes Dad would drop by to give us some money. Though it wasn't even enough to cover utilities for more than a couple months. Then he'd just leave again a couple days later. Are you the eldest? Nope. But my older bros had already moved out by the time I hit high school. I was so surprised when my dad gave me the house after he died. Oh. Which is where my mom and siblings live now. I'm sorry to hear about your father. No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it was weird to receive the news of his death from an attorney. Knowing he passed away by himself. And how it took them a week to find out. Oh. Natural causes, by the way, so, I mean, how did he check out with absolutely no one knowing? Where were my other siblings? What happened to his ladies? It was just so crazy to me. And I guess it just kind of haunted me. Haunted how? My life growing up was filled with disappointment over him, you know? I mean it in the best way possible. My disappointment actually drove me to work hard for my family. I just vilified him in my mind, like shaking my mental fist at him. Gonna do so much better than you, sir, and all that. I see. But then I received the news that he left me the house. Like, I know he had no money. That house was probably one of the only assets he had left. So when he gave me the house in his will, all I could think about was, what went through his mind exactly? The fact that he had a will at all was probably a surprise for you. Exactly. What am I supposed to think of that? What am I supposed to think of him? And does it even matter anymore? When he's already long gone? Anyway, so my older brothers came back, right? They wanted me to sell the house and divide the earnings. Wanting a slice of the inheritance pie, huh? You didn't do that, right? Heck no. That's why I left for LA. So if they really want me to sell the house, they gotta chase after me. Good call. Thankfully, my younger siblings and I are pretty tight. We're a good team. That's a relief. But that was also why I needed money fast. I needed to send money to help with my family's bills. And of course, so I could stay alive as well. That's why I ended up having to join the production house. The production house? Yeah, it was like a bunch of content creators getting together to make videos every day. I was young and naive too, you know? Because it was my first time adventuring to another state completely alone, after all. So I didn't know better how predatory things could be. Yeah, like, content creator houses are, as far as I know, still definitely a thing. I always get surprised when it's like, oh yeah, these, like, disparate YouTubers that I know live together. And it's like, not usually for that long a period. It's not a long-term thing, but it's definitely a thing. Man, this isn't even gonna be an entertaining story. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk about it. No, it's not that. I just really didn't like that production house, but I needed the money. Someone there saw my vlogs, invited me in, and as one of the youngest there, I tried to get along with everyone. But you see, we were all creators in the entertainment industry, right? Which means we all had huge egos. So naturally, there was somewhat of a hierarchy of sorts. Trying to be all around helpful turned me into the butt of the joke all the time. That didn't discourage me all that much, by the way. I mean, I also learned a lot there, not gonna lie. Still. But what ended up destroying my willpower was actually something real close, you know? Myself. What do you mean by that? Well, in a house where everyone wants to be the main character, each of us would need a solid, distinct persona, yeah? Eventually, I was assigned one too. Which was supposed to be a good thing, but they wanted me to be the worst version of what I am, essentially. With heavy emphasis. On what? I had a lot of nicknames too, like, hey ya baby goat. What are you up to now, satyr boy? Here comes the party goatie. Mr. Excess. You You want to go fishing again tonight or what? Fishing? Ugh. We had to go out and try to hit on people. We weren't allowed to come home unless we failed spectacularly or scored. I always try to be the punchline, though. Because there were always more views when something ended badly. But it was still the worst, because I really had to act it all out, you know? Bothering people for pretend dates, be sort of a dumb jerk just for jokes. Just so it all looked fun for the camera. Even if it was scripted, I never really liked doing it, honestly, because in the end, it all just reminded myself of my dad, you know? And I kept thinking, does the apple never fall far from the tree after all? So yeah, the whole thing just really sucked. You had it difficult. Yeah? Well, long story short, being tokenized sucked. The end. No disagreement there. Sorry, I swear that wasn't what I wanted to talk to you about. It's fine. I actually learned a lot this evening. I just don't want to take up more of your time, so can I just ask you a direct question? Sure. Great. Would you be interested in guest starring on my new show? Huh? I realized I was being dumb the day we first met. I kind of forced my thoughts on you, and I was just being a general smartass. I undermined your straightforward efforts because I was jealous of your solid resolve. Since everything I did was anything but. But you succeeded eventually, didn't you? And you worked hard for it. Yet I almost ended up losing sight of why I've been doing all this in the first place. I went with the flow, made excuses a lot, all to justify the gain, but to what end? That's why I've been trying to put together a talent showcase for those who need extra exposure. It's going to be a small production thing. It'll be paid, I swear, and not with exposure either. Though it won't be much at first. Because I don't have that much money ready to use at the moment. Wait. This is a bit sudden, don't you think? No pressure, though. How does the show work? I wonder, like, if satyrs aren't long-lived, if they are, like, a, bright burning candle kind of thing. Meanwhile, she definitely is, although we don't know by how much. Well, I'm not 100% sure of the shape of it yet, but ideally it'll have, like, an interview at first, record your singing. I'll bring all the gear. I'll also be doing all the editing and stuff. It's gonna take a bit of time since I still have my main show to do. But I did start my vlogging journey on my own too, so yeah, I can bet you the result will still be quality. Your show will tank if I'm the first guest, you realize that, right? If it does, then it doesn't deserve to exist. I don't care about the haters, but you do. That's why I won't push you. I'm flattered, but no thank you. Okay. Thanks for considering me, though. And thank you for accepting no for an answer. Thanks for giving it a thought. Looks like I gotta go. Okay. It's nothing to do with what you said, okay? Just bad timing. Yes, I get it. Cool. I hope we can meet again like this. If you want to. Maybe. I'll take it. Thanks for your time too, Boter. Sorry if I bored you. No, truly, it was my pleasure. Cool. Okay, I really have to go. See you around? Safe trip. Alrighty, see you, Boter. Come again soon. So, what do you make of all that? I think tonight was the most I've talked in the past 2 years, and I'm quite glad to hear that. Thank you, Boter. For what? For being such a good host. I know I'm not the easiest being to get along with. It's always a pleasure to have you and everyone around. Then I'll be taking my leave. I feel like I have a lot to rethink. But I'll see you again soon. We'll be waiting, always. Safe trip, Miss Riona, and have a good night. I think I'm done for the night. Hope everything will work out for everyone. Oh man, I feel like this game is more intense than the first one. Alright, we're not going to do this day during the stream. Next week we will. And this will be my 10-year wedding anniversary. So we'll do this day next week.